The Indiana Fever are facing a glaring issue with Katie Lou Samuelson, whose performance has significantly dropped, raising concerns about her role on the team. Known for her shooting ability, Samuelson has struggled to make an impact this season, averaging just 1.1 points per game and offering little to no contribution on the defensive end. This Katie Lou problem is becoming a pressing issue for the Fever, especially as they strive to build a competitive roster around stars like Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. A scoring drought. Samuelson, once heralded as a sharpshooter, has been a non-factor on offense this season. Her 1.1 points per game, shockingly low for a player expected to stretch the floor, has raised eyebrows. This scoring drought is particularly troubling for a player who was once known for her three-point shooting. Samuelson's inability to consistently knock down shots has limited her offensive value and made it difficult for the Fever to space the floor, which is essential for their system. This lack of scoring puts additional pressure on other players like Clark and Boston, who are often forced to carry the offensive load. The Fever need role players who can contribute meaningfully, especially in critical moments, and Samuelson's performance is falling well short of expectations. What's more concerning is that Samuelson's offensive struggles are not being compensated for on the defensive end. Her lack of defensive presence is becoming a liability, particularly against teams with strong wing players. Samuelson's defensive rating is among the lowest on the team, and she's often targeted by opponents who see her as a weak link in the Fever's defensive schemes. Her inability to guard quicker, more athletic players, coupled with her lack of physicality, has left the Fever vulnerable on defense. In a league where two-way players are becoming increasingly valuable, Samuelson's defensive shortcomings are putting the team at a disadvantage, especially in close games. The bigger question for the Fever is how to address this issue moving forward. With Samuelson offering little in terms of scoring and defense, the team may need to consider adjusting her minutes or exploring other options to fill her spot in the rotation. While Katie Lou Samuelson has shown flashes of brilliance earlier in her career, her current form is making it difficult for the Fever to justify her continued role in the lineup. The Fever's coaching staff will need to make some tough decisions. They could reduce her minutes in favor of younger players with more upside or pursue a trade to bring in a player who can contribute on both ends of the floor. The team has promising talent in Clark and Boston, and they can't afford to have players who aren't pulling their weight. For Samuelson, the path forward isn't entirely clear. She'll need to make significant improvements to remain a valuable part of the Fever's rotation. Whether it's refining her shooting to become the floor spacer the team needs or focusing on improving her defense, she has to find a way to turn things around. At this point in the season, time is running out for her to prove her worth, and the Fever can't wait much longer for her to break out of her slump. If she continues to struggle, the team may have no choice but to explore other options. The Katie Lou problem is a significant hurdle for the Indiana Fever, who are looking to build a winning culture. With her current lack of production on both ends of the court, Samuelson is becoming a liability that the team can't afford. As the Fever look to the future, they will need to address this issue sooner rather than later, whether that means reducing her role, making a trade, or giving other players a chance to step up. For Samuelson, it's now or never if she wants to turn things around and prove she still belongs in the WNBA.